With only a few weeks left in Tayshia's journey as the Bachelorette, things are coming down to the wire and tensions are rising, especially in this latest preview for week 9 that is entirely focused on drama. Fan favorites like Zach, Brendan, and Riley are all suddenly getting a new edit. But is it all actually what it seems? Plus, we're gonna take a look at an Instagram story that's been floating around, which might just prove that Tayshia is currently engaged. So let's check out this preview for week 9, and you know the rules, sleuthing spoilers only in the comments section below. And on that note, I do want to talk about a certain photo at the end of the video. One that was released accidentally by the official Bachelor Nation Twitter account, which showed who gets roses at the next rose ceremony that's supposed to happen after Noah and Bennett's 2-on-1. And as far as I'm concerned, this falls under sleuthing spoilers, as it comes from an official source. Like if Chris Harrison in an interview said, "You won't believe your eyes when Tayshia accepts her proposal from surprise entry John Paul Jones," I mean, whoops, forget that. Still, I won't mention the photo at all until the very end, and I'll warn you when I'm about to do that, in case that's something you want to avoid. But alright, let's hit that preview.
Not the goodbye I expected. It didn't feel right at all.
So this first bit right here is Tayshia sending home one of either Noah or Bennett on the 2-on-1. As I stated in my previous video, I believe this person to be Bennett. In the super teaser trailer that was released with the Dancing with the Stars finale, we got this bit of footage that we haven't seen yet of Noah.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Now we know that this footage didn't happen last episode, so we can confirm that it's still to come. It also makes sense as to why he's saying once a cheater, always a cheater, as we continue on into the rest of the preview. So again, this confirms that Noah still has footage, and therefore Noah will be the one staying. Now, Tayshia saying that was not the goodbye I was hoping for likely means Bennett leaves not on a great note, or even with an ominous message like we often see on the show. A goodbye, but watch out for this person. We'll see.
Truth and honesty in a relationship is everything.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yes.
And here we have the group date that looks to set off a whole bunch of drama that's going to encapsulate a huge chunk of the episode to come. It's a lie detector test with Zach in the hot seat, and we can also see Riley in the background, with Brendan, and I'd easily wager that this is Ivan. Here, Zach reveals that he's cheated in the past. So makes sense why Noah would say once a cheater, always a cheater, as he's probably talking about Zach. And really, in this preview, Zach's going to get a whole new edit moving forward. But don't get worried quite yet if you're a Zach stan.
I hated today.
Why? Cheating's nothing I will tolerate. Every time I talk to him, I uncover something that I'm just like, hold on a second.
Uh-oh, could Zach be doomed? Well, no, not even close. Let's get this out of the way first. Why would Tayshia say why when Zach said I hated today if she was angry at Zach for having said he cheated in the past? Wouldn't she know why he, quote, hated today? Plus the audio of Tayshia saying every time I talk to him I uncover something that I'm like, hold on a second, is not something we're seeing Tayshia say. We're just getting the audio. So that statement could literally be about anyone else. It could even be about Noah or Bennett from the 2-on-1. But more importantly is this shot, and it tells me everything else I need to know. Like 1, Zach's going to get another 1-on-1 later on. So obviously, even if there is a questioning of Zach's past, they're going to be able to work through it. But that's even if it's questioned by Tayshia, who's shown she's open to understanding someone's past as long as they're honest with her. Then 2, this shot confirms another guy headed to hometowns. Not just because it works out with the math when you look at how many guys are left, like Zach obviously doesn't get a 1-on-1 next week as he's going on the group date, so he must get a 1-on-1 after that, but also check out what it says here on this mural. East River Ferry. The East River Ferry operates out of New York City. Now Zach, he's from New Jersey, and he runs a sober living facility in New York, meaning this is almost surely a hometown date, where the people at The Bachelor have tried to do a cute little recreation of Zach's home, including a taxi which has become so commonly associated with the city.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
And if you need even more proof that things with Zach and Tayshia are going to be fine and that she thinks there's nothing wrong here, well, listen to what Tayshia has to say herself.
I'm trying to think of something wrong, and there's nothing wrong.
Yep, this is from the season preview for Tayshia's season. Check out what she's wearing here. Then back here with Zach on that hometown one-on-one. So apparently she can't think of anything wrong with Zach, and that takes place after this cheating drama. Yep, looks like this preview gave a major fake out for Zach. Not to mention their time here looks an awful lot like this bit of footage from the Tayshia season preview as well.
Tayshia,
Yeah.
I'm falling in love with you.
Sounds like this conversation from next episode actually goes really well. Kind of exactly opposite from what the latest preview suggests. Instead of Zach being left to wonder if his time with Tayshia is done, he actually expresses falling in love with her to a giggling Tayshia. Got to be one of the more monumental fake-outs in recent memory, at least with the amount of evidence we have to the contrary. But this is why we keep track of everything from past previews, because you never know when it might come in handy. Now the only thing that's making me raise an eyebrow here is if you slow down the frames in this shot right here, you can see that Tayshia is holding a rose. Why would she be walking away from Zach with a rose? Could be for a lot of reasons and not necessarily bad ones for Zach, but we'll have to see. Alright though, let's move on.
The time frame of proposing is scary. That's the truth.
And Brendan too is getting a dramatic edit after being, up until this point, a well-liked and frontrunner kind of guy. Here's Brendan talking about the timeline of a proposal, calling it scary. But he doesn't say it's something he's not interested in, just that it's scary. My guess is, like with Zach, Brendan gets asked a question in the lie detector test, probably about being ready for marriage or a proposal, and he either fails the test or is honest and says something about proposing that maybe Tayshia doesn't like. Or it's all a complete fake-out like with Zach, and this conversation right here goes really well. We have to consider that option too if we know that Zach's conversation isn't going to be exactly how this preview presents it. Maybe the same goes for Brendan.
I have a little bit of explaining to do. She has no idea.
What in the actual hell?
And here's Riley too, a guy who had a good edit last episode, having to explain something to Tayshia. But again, even though Tayshia is shown in her room saying what the HE double hockey sticks, Riley's confession might not be that bad, or bad at all. He could be opening up about something. And wouldn't you know it, we have footage from this night in the season preview again. Right here with Tayshia kissing Riley, and it looks like Riley's got a somber face on, as if he just opened up about something, and Tayshia is comforting him or consoling him with a kiss.
When you bring that into the equation, that makes it really real.
It's today the day I let myself go.
And there, the preview ends, on Riley crying in the shadows. So this little shot of Riley saying, "Is this the day I let myself go?" is from the evening portion of that group date based on what he's wearing. He's likely talking about the conversation he's planning to have with Tayshia. And the shot of Zach could be from anywhere or about anything, but either way, something is making him emotional. Is it good emotion? Is it someone leaving? Who knows? But alright, before we move forward and get into the stuff about Tayshia's engagement speculation and eliminations, let's talk one-on-ones for next week. The one person who I'm thinking has to be getting a one-on-one next episode is Ben. He had a great edit last Monday, and his relationship with Tayshia grew even further. Plus, there are 2 separate bits of one-on-one footage from the previews that we haven't got to with Ben. So I'm thinking one of those has to fill in sooner or later, as we're running out of time in the show here. Plus, if he's in that much footage and makes it to hometowns, it's hard to imagine him getting that far without at least one one-on-one beforehand. Now, okay, the Tayshia stuff. There was also a bit of sleuthing done over the last few days, where Tayshia was recording her podcast and posted an Instagram story of her making iced coffee. Sleuthers quickly spotted this, a ring on her engagement finger. But hey, that doesn't necessarily confirm anything, right? Well, what's even more interesting is this second shot, which is much clearer. Check out the ring on her finger. Now, you might be thinking, hey, Bachelor Fantake, why is this shot worth anything? The ring is on her right hand, not her left. Well, actually, that's not true. If you look closely, you can see that this image has been flipped to make it seem that way. Take a look at her keyboard down here. Ever seen a keyboard that looked like that, with the letters all reversed and the arrow keys on the wrong side? Take a look at a typical MacBook keyboard for reference. And then right here, I'm gonna flip it. Kind of suspicious that Tayshia would purposely reverse the photo to make it seem like her ring is on the other hand. But in the same vein, it's also kind of suspicious as to why she would go to all this trouble in reversing the image when she could just take the ring off. Maybe it's all a conspiracy to throw us off and she's just playing with us. But still, fun sleuthing nonetheless. And last but not least, it's time for that photo posted by the official Bachelor Nation Twitter account. If you're not interested in seeing it, now's your chance to back out. Alright, here it is. This picture was posted right after last Monday's episode. Yep, feeling real bad for whoever posted that. And the post was up for quite a while. Here we can see confirmation on who comes out on top of the 2-on-1 and who gets the rest of the roses at the rose ceremony. Biggest surprise of all is Blake. Excuse me? How? Penis sculpture guy stays over Spencer? Alright then. Now luckily, apart from Blake, most of this isn't a surprise. We've seen in this preview and the other previews that each of these guys, well, except Blake, still has footage to come. And I'd wager after this, it's easily Blake and Noah who are the ones that are gonna go, probably Riley too. I just don't see Riley taking a hometown spot over any of the other four. Especially if we now have confirmation that both Zach, which we sleuthed out this week, and Ivan, which we sleuthed out the week before, are making it to hometowns. Like, Riley would have to take a spot from either Ben or Brendan to make it to the top 4. I just don't see that happening. And that top 4 is coming soon. And before you know it, we'll be at that final rose ceremony seeing if this engagement ring is actually the real deal. So that's it for this preview breakdown for week 9, a dramatic preview that gave us quite a lot to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to like and subscribe as we gear up for another dramatic episode next week. So until then, Bachelor Fantake, out.
Every time I talk to him, I uncover something that I'm just like, hold on a second.